Morning.
Good morning.
Episode 35.
35, mid-30s.
Mid-30s.
We're
Feeling
not,
good.
when people are like, oh, I'm in my early 30s. You can't say that
No.
here.
Not anymore.
Not for us.
What's in your cup today?
Just a little water and Relight.
Okay.
The electrolytes and sodium mix.
Cool.
Yeah.
Can you ask me what's in my cup?
I know it's straight up alcohol. No. I wanted to give you the Relight for your race.
Oh,
Some
yeah.
sodium electrolytes. Okay, what's in there? Looks like coffee, but
So,
I'm
trying
guessing.
something new. So, I was listening to a podcast and talking about the different types of coffee drinks you can order because you can get like a lot. Latte has been my go-to order for the longest time, which I learned is like a 1-to-3 ratio of espresso to steamed milk. So it's like
1 to 3.
1 part espresso, 3 parts steamed milk.
Okay.
So it's a lot of milk for the amount of espresso.
Feels like a lot of milk.
So then they're talking about all the different options, and there's like cortados, which is like a small version. It's like a 1-to-1 kind of thing.
Okay.
And then I learned about a flat white. Have you had a flat white before?
Oh, this is so funny because that is the only coffee order my in-laws wanted.
Really?
Every coffee shop. Do you guys do a flat white?
And did most say yes?
Yes, except for, I won't say who, but you could tell if a coffee shop didn't know what a flat white was, they were not going to order. They were like, okay, never mind. Because if they don't know what they're doing.
So I kind of had that. This is the first time I've ordered this. So I got a vanilla flat white.
Oh, okay.
Which I've never heard of. And I don't even really know if it's a thing.
Yeah.
I just knew I wanted a flat white because it was like the 2-to-2, like the even ratio of milk to espresso, which I wanted like a little bit stronger taste than a normal latte.
But is the cortado not also even?
It's even, but it's usually smaller.
Okay, so it's like a condensed.
I think so.
Yeah.
That's my understanding. Is the flat white's like a larger version of a cortado. I could be wrong there.
Okay.
Anyway, so I wanted the higher concentration of espresso, but I don't love coffee drinks if they don't have any flavoring.
Okay.
So I'm gonna add a little bit of vanilla to it. So I got a vanilla flat white, and it's delicious.
Good.
The confusion was she said, "Do you want that with white coffee?" And I said no, because I don't like white coffee. So I'm hoping that this is actually a flat white.
I don't even know what white coffee is.
White coffee is like the strongest coffee you can get. Have you not had white coffee before?
Never.
So some coffee shops will sell white coffee, and it's like I don't know what about it's different, but it has like a different kind of nutty flavor to it.
Okay.
And it's stronger than any other coffee.
Interesting.
Like caffeine wise.
Okay.
And what I learned that's just interesting is the darker the coffee is, the less strong it is. Did you know that?
I have heard that.
So basically white coffee is like the lightest coffee, so it's the strongest.
Strong. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Anyway,
is there a green coffee? Is there something?
Probably.
Okay. That's interesting. And you like it though?
I do. Yeah. Okay. Flat white might be my new order.
I love it. Because you don't necessarily see flat white on the menu.
Not always, no.
And my in-laws compared it a little bit to a cappuccino.
Yeah.
But
I learned about the cappuccinos as well.
There we go.
And I'm just regurgitating everything I learned from the other podcast. But cappuccino is it's like 3 things. So it's the espresso, and it's the steamed milk, and it's the foam.
Yes.
All in even parts. Okay. So that's the difference with the cappuccino is it has the third of its foam versus a latte or a flat white is no foam. It's just steamed milk.
Yep.
So
we've been having a little coffee domestic in our house.
Okay.
So I don't know if I told you. So we had this really nice espresso machine. Yep. You've been a consumer of it.
Benefactor.
You've enjoyed. And we had it for years, and it finally died.
Okay.
And so I had my eye on a coffee machine that matched our appliances.
Right.
Like it was the same GE Cafe line.
Fashion over function.
100%. And it had what was nice, but it was functional because it had a carafe, so you could do like a pot of coffee, or an option to do a single serving cup.
Okay.
So like best of both worlds.
Yeah,
this is great. So we got it. We're so excited. It didn't quite fit under our cabinetry like we wanted it to. And so in order to like refill the water, you kind of have to put it at like an awkward angle, and it drips all over the counter every time. And then unlike our old machine, every time you make something, you have to now empty grinds basket. Whereas before, we had like a cup inside the machine that would just hold the coffee pods after it made the espresso or coffee or whatever. And so Chad has like hated this machine. We've had it for about 3 weeks, and he's like, I can't stand it. And I am like, I like having my little pot of coffee and like kind of refill when I want, not having to go through a whole like waiting thing. But he finally convinced me he wants to return it. Okay. And we're getting a same brand, same like GE Cafe, but an espresso machine.
Gotcha.
Is what he wants to switch to.
Cool.
So I'll keep you posted. It's arriving tomorrow.
That's great.
Next time you guys are over, I'll give you a I don't know, flat white if we can. I don't know how to do that.
We are also having coffee issues in our household.
It really, and because it's the way you start your day.
It is.
It's something
100%.
we look forward to in the afternoon together. It's really been like, he would be like, I hate this thing. And I would be like, offended. Like it's like a personal attack.
Our Nespresso maker, which we love, broke like a week ago. And it's just, so it kind of broke. So you know how it goes, it needs like the descaling or whatever. And you're supposed to put the solution in the thing and it's a whole process. Yeah. We've done that like 3 times and it will not go back to normal settings.
Weird.
We've tried resetting it. We've tried all these different troubleshooting things and nothing's working. So we're to the point where like we have to return it. The problem is that it was purchased on Brian's parents' Costco account because he got it for me for my birthday using their Costco account. So we have to wait to go with his parents to return it to get a new one. And so we're in there, not even in town. So now we're just waiting.
So every morning you don't have coffee?
No, for the last week. So Brian got like a
French press
thing, which it's fine. I just don't like it as much.
I know. Yeah.
And I don't want to learn. So I'm reliant on Brian to make coffee now. And I don't. It's just the whole thing.
You're all waking him up like
Yeah. So that's why I stopped and got a coffee this morning.
I like it.
I don't have a.
Where did you get this from?
This is from the Cow. It's on 56th in Tacoma.
It's called like Spotted
Cow.
Okay.
Sounds right. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Okay.
We have a lot to catch up on. We recorded 5 days ago.
I mean, it feels like we saw each other yesterday, but a lot has happened.
A lot has happened last 5 days. Let's start with your emotional stuff.
Okay, I know.
You were just filling me in.
Just filling you in. I have my tissues in case I get emotional. So if you recall, the last time we chatted, that morning I had Alice do blood work.
Yep. I have it on my note of things to check in on.
Okay. And we were like, after she had it done, I was like, it's done. We're packing for Portland. Like it's over. You don't have to worry about it. Turns out it wasn't done. So Thursday, so I get results Wednesday afternoon, evening, and a couple things come back in the high range. But I don't know. I'm obviously not a doctor, but when I'm looking at when I'm looking at results, it's like there's the green, which is you're in range, and then there's yellow and you're out of range. And it's either side, like low or high. And so there was a few things that came back in the yellow, meaning she was, and it was all high side. Nothing was really low. And when I was talking to Chad about it, he's like, but I think there's also a red. Like yellow is, you're above, but red is like you're in danger.
Right.
I've never seen red on lab results, but I'm trusting, he may know more than me. Anyways, it doesn't matter. So I knew we had coming up this Tuesday. So we got our results Wednesday afternoon. I knew this coming week we were going to see the doctor again.
Yeah.
And so I wasn't really worried about it until we are on our way to Portland on Thursday and we stop at a gas station and I look at my phone and I have 3 missed calls from the doctor's office and a voicemail saying, hey, I'm reviewing her lab results and I would like to talk to you as soon as possible. And so immediately my gut and my heart is just like sinking.
Yeah.
So I call the doctor and she's basically explaining there is 3 things that came back high. Her iron, which was really surprising because what we thought was going on with Alice was that her iron was low. Somebody did tell me symptoms of high iron are very similar to symptoms of low iron. Lethargic, weak, like feeling dizzy, similar things.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, so maybe she's just high in iron. But also her calcium and protein levels came back high as well. And so the doctor was asking me some questions like, do I give her any iron supplements? Do I give her any vitamins? Asked if she was taking any medication. And I was like, absolutely nothing. Like anything she's getting is only from natural. Like we don't even do like a multivitamin type thing. So I was like, I mean, we do have a lot of steak. Like we eat a lot of red meat. I was like trying to think of what would cause these things. And then basically the doctor is like, I'm pretty concerned about her calcium. And she said calcium can result in some like heart issues. It can result in, it could be kidney stones. So she's basically saying if she's having any heart palpitations or if she's having any stomach pain or back pain, I want you to like immediately take her in.
Yeah.
And in my head, I was like, okay, we just went on Monday and did an EKG. So like 3 days ago. And the doctor there was like, her heart's beautiful. It's great. Like nothing to worry about here. Her fainting things are common. It's something that happens pretty regularly, and explained what to do in that event. So in my head, I was like, her heart's fine. Like, I'm not sure why we're so concerned. And she hasn't told me anything about her back hurting or her stomach hurting. And then as I'm talking to her on the phone, she's like, okay, so how quickly can you get to a lab? And I'm like, all of a sudden I'm like, wait, she wants me to get to a lab and do more blood work. I just told Alice on Wednesday, we're done. We don't have to worry about it. And now I'm realizing she's going to have to do it today. So
and you're on the road to Portland?
Literally, I am on the road. We're about halfway through our trip. And the doctor is like, she is stressing me out because she's like, how close are you to Olympia? There's a lab here in Olympia. And I'm like, I'm 45. I passed Olympia 45 minutes ago. If I were to go back and then keep going to Portland, that's like way like beyond. So she's like, okay, I'm looking in Portland. Okay, I found a lab. So now I'm like, my head is absolutely spinning. I'm like, now I'm driving and I've got my friends, Denise and her girls are with us. I'm like, I'm having to drive to Portland, go straight to this lab. They're going to close. I'm like, all these things. And then on top of that, I have to figure out how to tell Alice that her birthday trip to Portland is now being derailed by more lab work. And the worst part is if something comes back that's worse, the doctor is like, you're going to have to go to the hospital if this isn't better. So I am like, I'm panicked. I'm absolutely like freaking out. I go in and the girls had gone back to the car. I'm like standing outside this gas station. I go inside and I use the restroom. I call Chad and I'm like, I don't know what's happening. And so he's like, he's stuck in Tacoma. He's running the graduation for his recent academy. So he's got family night Thursday night. Friday, he's doing graduation. So he's like totally committed. And he's like, what? Like he's all equally like now worried and concerned. So
especially with the urgency that the doctors like expressing, that seems.
And I literally said to her, I said, I just have to be clear. Like we did blood work yesterday and it was so traumatic. Like I cannot explain to you the stress that it took on my child to just get that done with. And is this like I said, is this absolutely necessary? This cannot wait. And she was like, I would not ask you to do this if I wasn't concerned.
Wow.
So that was not helpful. Like that to me was like, now I'm scared, you know? Yeah. So.
And is this your pediatrician, like your normal
yes,
doctor?
and it's a new one. Like it's a new doctor for us. And so there was a part of me in my head where I'm like, you know, on one side, I'm like, she's acting fine. We had an EKG Monday. It's her 13th birthday and we're supposed to be doing this. You know, I'm trying to think of like, am I advocating and standing up for my daughter the best way possible?
Yeah.
Or am I like being silly to trust this new doctor who we don't know, who doesn't know my child? And then I just put that aside because I'm like, listen, this person has gone to medical school. I have not. She's saying she's that concerned. And so then actually what happened when we left the gas station or so then I go back to the car. I tell the girls what's going on and Allie thinks I'm joking. It was like the hardest thing because I tried to very calmly like say, hey, here's what just happened. And she's laughing. She's like, she thinks I'm trying to come up with a diversion for a surprise.
Oh my.
And so I'm having to sit and be like, you're laughing and I wish this was a joke, but I'm very serious and I'm so sorry. Okay, so one of the things the doctor did say is one of the reasons some of these could read high is if she was really dehydrated.
Yeah.
And Chad had said, you know, I talked to her the night before her blood work and she said she hadn't drunk that much water that night or that day. And so we made sure to give her water that night. I made sure to bring water with us to the original lab work. But on the way to this second one down in Portland, we were like, drink as much as you can, like be uncomfortably full of water. So we go down. I'm just like, my mind is just spinning. We get to this lab work place in Portland. As soon as we get out of the car, Allie breaks down and is like, she's like, I just knew in my gut something wasn't done. Like, cause we had said, you know, you did it, you got your blood work done and now you don't have to worry about it. And she's like, I knew when we were talking about that, like it just wasn't over. And she just immediately starts going into like fear, scared, trembling, you know, mode. And, we get inside the office and they can obviously tell she's very upset. And I'm explaining to them that we're from Tacoma. We came down here for a birthday trip. It's her 13th birthday tomorrow. And we got a call that our lab work came back with some concerns and now we're here. And they were so great. They were like, you know what, this is going to be the worst day before birthday, but you're going to have the best day tomorrow, you know, trying to be super encouraging. And then they look at all of our paperwork, get us checked in, and they realize that the doctor had ordered a stat result type thing. So basically they said, unfortunately, we don't do that here. But you can go across the street to the hospital and they will do it for you. She said, the challenge is I'm looking at their wait list and you're about an hour out from, getting in, but I'm going to check you in now. We're going to make sure she's ready to go. And you just go, you drive across the street. It's right there. So we're like, okay. So now what I thought was going to be like a quick in-out blood work procedure ends up now we're at the hospital.
Oh my goodness. Is everybody with you still?
No, Denise ended up dropping Alice and I off and took her girls and Piper to like a Target. So now Alice and I have like an hour in the hospital and I'm trying, I mentioned last time, like I can't imagine being a parent of somebody with a thing. And like, I want to be careful because I'm like, this was a little medical hiccup. I'm really hoping that it's not anything more, but I am obviously not, I'm obviously aware that some parents, this is their day to, they have dealt with this in a much more extreme fashion. So all that to say, it was, to me, the hardest part was like sitting in the waiting room alone with her and just mind spinning and thinking, like there was a part of me that was like, okay, we're in this really nice hospital. And I just playing back the words of the doctor of like, if things are worse, I'm going to have you check into a hospital, and thinking like this, I'm like here on purpose. Like I'm going to be here again later tonight. Chad won't be able to come till Saturday. I'm just like playing it all out and just trying to also at the same time as my mind's freaking out, be comforting my child who is just like a trembling mess next to me. All I can get her to do is drink water. I can't have she won't eat anything. They did say it was fine that she ate. And so I was trying to give her something and she just like could not stomach anything. So, so then we go in, it was bad. I mean, the blood work was really bad. The first time we did it on Wednesday, they took like 2 vials. This time they took like 6. It was like such a long, excruciating process. And
that's a lot of blood.
It was so much blood. I honestly like
for a 13-year-old, that's crazy.
I was like, wait, I thought we were just testing like calcium and, like, I don't even know. And at first she was doing really good and then it started to hurt and she's, sitting there crying. And so we finally get done with that. And then we get to our hotel. I'm like, the problem is like, now I'm like, I don't want to say like, okay, it's done. You did that. Let's just enjoy it. Because now we're waiting for results. Like now
did they give you a time estimate or anything?
Well, they said with the stat processing that could be within the next 24 hours. Okay. Usually the processing is 24 to 48.
Just looming over you?
Looming. So Thursday night, now we're in Portland. We get to our hotel. We get dressed. Allie wanted to kind of get dressed up. So we get dressed up and we go out to dinner and we go to a really yummy dumpling place.
Nice.
Probably would have loved it.
What was it?
I couldn't tell you.
Was it Dozone?
No, it wasn't.
There's a Dozone in Portland.
Oh, okay.
Anyway.
It's like I don't know if it was a chain, but it was really close to our hotel. And it was like packed. So we were like, okay, this is a good sign. It was amazing. It was delicious. At the same time, I would look over at Allie every once in a while and just like, she looked like she was not present. And so I just had this like heaviness of like, she's worried, understandably so. And like, just, her brain is spinning, my brain's spinning. We get back to the hotel. The girls want to go swimming. So they do that. And it looks like they're having a blast. It looks like they're having a good time. So I'm like, okay, this is like best scenario. We're not sitting by ourselves at home just waiting for results. We're having fun with our friends.
It's a good distraction.
Yes, totally. And then the nice thing is then it's Friday morning and I'm like the first one awake. I go down to the lobby. It's her birthday. It's her 13th birthday. So I am like, I'm texting a little bit with some friends and my parents. And I like write Alice's like Instagram post and I am like bawling in the hotel lobby, like just overwhelmed with like, what if she's never had any health issues, but like, what if this is a new season for us? And what if all of this is like, coming into a new thing? And what does that look like for us? And just totally overwhelmed and just like sitting there. Luckily, I'm like, I don't know anybody. I don't really care what I look like. But then we go back into the room. The girls, everybody's starting to kind of wake up. We go downstairs. There's like continental breakfast. We do that, come back, and I get a text that our results are in. So now I'm like, trembling, trying to open these. It's not working. Like technology is failing me. I like called the doctor's office and I'm like, hey, I see that I have results, but I can't open the link. Can you please let me know what's going on? And And then finally I figured out how to get in and I could see. So originally her calcium read at a level 11 and the results that I saw was at a level 10. So it dropped. So that was the big one. If it had gone 11 or 12, that was when we were going to have to go to the hospital. So I was like, okay, I think we're okay.
Yeah.
And then as I'm reading through, there was like 5 or 6 different test results that came through. One of them, there was a letter from the doctor saying her level is back in normal range. I highly recommend she stay very hydrated for the rest of your time and we'll follow up on Tuesday. So it was like, okay. So then we were able to like enjoy the rest of the time. But it was just this like heaviness. And there's still, I will say there's still a level of like, what is all of this? Like, what does this mean? Yeah. Why would those numbers read the way that they did? So it feels like it was a huge relief. We were so happy, but there's also this underlying unknown still. Yeah. So hopefully tomorrow at her doctor's appointment, we'll get a little bit more info. Man. But yeah, that was
she how was she after that news?
She was really good. I think she's equally like, it's not over,
right?
But I don't have to go to a hospital. Yeah. It's not, and I explained to her the kidney stone thing because at one point she did say to me, yeah, I was kind of uncomfortable. My stomach was hurting a bit. But again, it was like not sure if that was just nerves and anxiousness or if that could have been related.
How interesting that she said that after the first blood test, she had a feeling it wasn't over. That's such an interesting intuition.
Mm-hmm. I know. And it's just like, I mean, if I wish like, it's so heartbreaking because she's such a sweet, sensitive soul. And like every time she gets like a blood work done or shots, she's like apologetic. Like she knows it's hard on the people that she's like working with. And so afterwards, she's always like, I'm so sorry for crying. Like it breaks my heart because she
doesn't want to be crying.
She doesn't want to be crying.
She doesn't want to be scared.
She doesn't want it to be that upsetting.
Yeah.
And so it just makes it that much harder. But all that to say, we had an emotional start to our Portland trip. And then I will say, like, I don't know. I think we mentioned a little bit, like Portland. Have you been there recently?
I rode my bike there last weekend. That's it. We didn't do it. We did zero exploring.
You didn't stay the next day. And
we stayed the night, but we just drove home the next day.
Like, I don't know.
Not a fan.
I don't want to.
You don't want to disparage a whole city.
I don't want to put down a whole place, but. And maybe it was just tainted because of our start to the trip. But I think it was for us, it was like we were right on the cusp of like the last block that felt good and safe. And then behind us, it felt very dodgy, very sketchy. And I just don't know the city well enough to know where to go.
Right. It's probably, I bet Portland is similar to Seattle in a lot of ways where like, I think a lot of people who are tourists that come to Seattle probably go downtown and they probably have a similar experience that you just had in Portland, which is feels unsafe in a lot of areas. It's dirty. Totally. It's, a lot of stuff is boarded up. I don't know if that was what Portland was like at all, but Seattle was more that way during COVID for a while, but I love Seattle, but I don't go downtown hardly ever. Like I enjoy the, quirkiness of like Pike Place. Like Pike Place is fun to walk around, but beyond that, I like never go downtown Seattle. I go to all the neighborhoods around Seattle. Right. So Portland probably has something similar where 100%. Like maybe downtown core is not the best, but all the little neighborhoods around it probably offer a lot.
It's so accurate. And so I do like, there was definitely pockets where I saw like even just blocks the other direction from our hotel. It's like, oh my gosh, this looks adorable. It's like, just pedestrian walkways and bistro lights across the restaurants and streets. I'm like, okay. And then we were just a few blocks the other way. Yeah. And so the last time we did this trip with these same friends, we stayed outside of Portland and we went to Washington Square Mall. Yeah. And Allie loved it. Like she had such fun memories of shopping with her friends. But where we stayed was like, it felt like we were in like a business district. Like it wasn't cute. We didn't walk anywhere from our hotel. So this trip, I was like, okay, I want to be like walkable. I want to walk to restaurants and coffee shops. And there's the Pioneers Mall or Pioneer Square. Am I saying that right? Yeah.
I think it's Pioneer Square. Okay. I think that's right.
That was walkable from where we were. So
which hotel were you at?
It was a Embassy Suites.
Okay.
Which is not great. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it's fine. I feel bad. I feel like I'm like being a little bit of a diva, but
We stayed a couple nights in Portland last summer for the Street of Dreams.
Yeah.
Did you stay overnight last year, or did you just go for the day for Street of Dreams?
Where was last week? I don't think so. I think the only time we stayed overnight in Portland was when we stayed in that Airbnb with you guys.
Okay. Gotcha.
For like a leadership.
Because you went to the Street of Dreams last year.
I love Street of Dreams.
Yeah, we stayed downtown overnight last year, and
Okay.
you're saying, like, there's a great restaurant scene in Portland.
Yes.
There's a lot of really good restaurants.
Yes.
There's cool activities. We did a fun escape room and
fun.
Like, there's stuff you can do, but a lot of these big cities. I mean, same with LA. Like, downtown LA has a lot of issues, but there's so many cool neighborhoods around that area that are great. So I think downtown cores have a lot of times attract a lot of the negative stuff.
Yeah. And it's hard too, because like I, as a 41-year-old, can have the rationale of like a lot of homeless people it's so innocent. And I actually am like super sympathetic towards the situation. At the same time, my 9-year-old doesn't have that logic. Right. And what she sees is somebody who looks scary and is acting crazy. You know, like there was one gal who was like across the street from us, so not near us, but we saw this whole interaction. She's screaming at the top of her lungs. These people walk past her and she picks something up and chucks it at them. Wow. Like she just being aggressive. And it's really hard to explain to a 9-year-old to be like, it's fine, that's fine, like
and that's not fine.
It's not.
We like, oh my gosh, it was such an interesting. Homelessness is such a complicated issue. When I crossed the finish line last weekend in Portland, within 30 seconds, there was somebody coming up to me who was on drugs, like tweaking out, like being scary. And I walked away. I'm a male who feels confident in my abilities. So I felt fine. But like, it's just like that type of thing where somebody's on heavy, hardcore drugs, like causing danger to people around them is not okay. Right. Like that should be illegal. That should be, those people need help and they should be forced to get help.
Right. Yeah. Totally. Ugh, and there was another situation where it's like there were 2 officers talking to this guy that we like, we were walking past. I'm like, okay, I think it's okay because there's literally a police officer talking to him. But like as we passed, the girls are like, oh my gosh, he's not wearing pants. He doesn't have pants on. He had like a blanket wrapped around him, but he wasn't wearing pants. There was food all over the side. It looked like he had gotten upset and thrown stuff. And I'm with these young girls. Like it made it hard. And eventually Piper was like, I don't want to leave the hotel. Yeah. Can we just order food here? Can we do that? Like, so there was moments that were really fun and we did have good food and we did go shopping and the girls love that. But there was also moments that I was like, oof, if I could do this again, I would do it really differently. Yeah. Number one, I wouldn't do blood work again. No. Yeah. So that was Portland, and then I'll just do my weekend and then I want to hear all about it. Okay. Yeah. So then we get back on Saturday and
Thursday to Saturday.
Yep. And, Friday we did Friday was a big shopping day. The girls had a blast. Come back Saturday, we basically just did breakfast and then Pal's bookstore, which I love. Oh, yeah, like Pal's that's one of my favorite places.
Where we were staying last year, the hotel was like across the street from Pal's bookstore.
Okay.
It was like a little Kimpton hotel.
Okay,
right there.
Fun.
So, yeah, Pal's is cool.
Yeah. So we got back Saturday afternoon. That night we had gotten my dad tickets to a Rainiers game as a Father's Day gift. So we finally did that with him. And that was such a fun. I hadn't been to Rainiers all year. Yeah. And they won in the last inning. Nice. So it was really exciting. And then yesterday was just really a like recovery day. We did, we went to lunch with my parents. We did Costco, Instacart, and we just kind of lounged around the house and cleaned and unpacked and all that stuff. So that was the gist of my weekend.
Love it.
How about you?
Love most of it.
Some
of it.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, there were a couple things I want to check with you on. Okay. One of them was you said you had a wild story. Was that your wild story?
That was. Okay. That was it. I think when you messaged me, I was like, what day was that? When did you text me?
Probably Friday. Maybe Friday? Thursday or Friday?
I think it might have been Thursday. Okay. And I think I was like, I might have even been at the hospital or something. I think I was like at the hospital in the waiting room. And I was like, yeah, we should talk.
Oh man, I'm sorry.
I knew that this would be like therapeutic. So I was like, I wanted to, and it's not like I need to be doing anything at home right now, so.
I'll be honest, when you said wild story, I was hoping for a fun story.
When your reaction was like, "Oh, I'm excited to hear it," I was like, "Oh, maybe wild was."
Wild's an interesting word.
I know. I think I was just in like a little bit of shock.
Yeah.
And I will say the other thing too is like, I had to consciously think like that was traumatic, right? Like, and then I was putting myself in Allie's shoes, who so terrified of needles, and having to be told, "We're doing it again."
Yeah.
And we're doing it because there might be something wrong with you. Like, so I checked in with her Saturday night, I think after the Rainiers game, we were home, and I was just like, "Are you okay? Like, that was really scary. And if you're not okay, that's okay." And like, she was like, she did say she felt, shaky. She's like, "I just feel like uncertain." And I think that was her way of just like, I'm scared.
Yeah.
So, but, she seemed good. We have some fun plans coming up this week, and hopefully tomorrow at the doctor's, we just get some answers. And I told her too, like, think about what you want to ask and what would help you feel like, okay, I know if I do this, I'll help this situation. Like what are the things that we can control? Is it just hydration? Is it the way we're eating? Trying to think through what would help so that we don't end up here again.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Our medical system's so interesting because there's so many great doctors out there, and a lot of times you have to like advocate for yourself and like do your, like, even I know you said your dad was saying don't Google it.
Yeah.
You might want to.
I know.
You might want to just like do a little research going into it so you know what questions to ask.
Yeah.
Like, I saw that high calcium can lead to this. Like, is this a concern or like, that might even give you peace of mind.
Yeah.
Knowing what the potential things are and then being able to
it's 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's never, I mean, not this is the same, but same thing. When Stevie was having issues last weekend, I Googled lumps on the neck. Like, what could that mean for a dog?
Right.
And it's like all these cancer things and like horrible things.
Yeah.
And I was able to ask our vet, like, could this be cancer? And they're like, no, it's not cancer. Okay. So just like being able to get yourself that peace of mind is helpful. So
because
even though it's scary to Google
for
those things.
And I think when I first got results, I looked up like high protein or something, because I hadn't heard of that. And I was like, I wonder what that is. And I remember the first thing I read was like, it wasn't a concern. So I think I just stopped there, like, oh, okay, not worried. And I had no idea high calcium was anything,
I think Taylor had some high calcium issues, something to do with her thyroid. Okay. I don't know. Our bodies are so absolutely insane.
And like protein has nothing to do with like like the protein we eat.
Yeah. You're like, high protein's supposed to be great. Right? I know. That's what we're all shooting for.
Yeah. Anyways, okay. What else were you gonna ask me?
Okay. How's MyFitnessPal going?
Okay. I was worried.
You want me to ask you that next week?
Yes, please. Because here's the thing. I tried on Thursday when all hell was breaking loose to like what did I eat today? Yeah. And then for the rest of the Portland trip, I was like, I'm not tracking this. Also, it's really hard when you go out to eat.
So hard.
I was like, first of all, I don't even want to know what the dumplings cost me.
It's just all estimating, and it's way easier if you're cooking for yourself to track your calories. Or if you're going to a big chain, because all the chains, like if you're McDonald's, like their menu items are on MyFitnessPal. But if you're at a one-off restaurant, it's just estimates.
Like I had grilled nuggets at Chick-fil-A, and they had it on the MyFitness. So, anyways, no, I would like to get back to it. This week.
I'll table that for next week.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so weekend, we also did dumplings on Friday.
Okay, Dozone.
Dozone, yeah.
Is that in Renton?
In Renton, yeah. Okay. It's a chain. So there's one in Renton, one in Bellevue, I think one in Seattle. There's a few of them. So there's Dozone and Din Tai Fung are kind of the two main chains. They're very similar menus, similar everything.
Similar pricing, is it?
I think they're about the same. Din Tai Fung might be a little bit more expensive. Dumplings are expensive in general.
Well, where we went, so we got soup dumplings. Yeah. And then we did pan-fried dumplings. We got a side of fried rice and chow mein. Okay. So and that was like so much food. We had leftovers.
How many dumplings came in the?
9.
Okay.
9 and then 6.
That's what you ate for 2 adults and 4 kids?
2 adults and 4 kids. Okay. And we had leftovers.
Really?
So like the kids each had like 2 of the small dumplings, and then everybody had a big dumpling because the pan-fried one is larger. Yeah. And then we had a bunch of chow mein and rice, and that was also leftover. Okay. It was, oh my gosh, how much was it for each family? Like $60 total. Oh. Like I think with a tip, I paid $35 for my family of 3. So
I think Brian and I eat a lot more when we get dumplings.
Okay. Because I was like, is this why people love this? Because it's so affordable? Is it usually
when
expensive?
We went, it was $60 for the 2 of us. It was $30 each. We didn't get any drinks or anything. That was just.
Yeah, we didn't. We just had.
And I think we ordered more food than you guys ordered.
Really?
For just
what did you guys get? What did you order?
I think we get. Usually we'll get 3 different things of dumplings. So like
which come with like 9, like the ones that I did.
They come with 6 to 8 per order.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so some are pan fried. We'll get the I'm totally spacing on the names right now, but like the spicy pork something.
Okay.
And we get 3 different types of dumplings, and we'll do like 1 noodle dish, and usually 1 like a salad.
Okay.
And then maybe 1 other thing. Okay. So we get a lot of food.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
And we finish everything. We never have leftovers.
Okay.
So
okay.
Maybe we just eat.
I mean,
grown boys.
It makes sense. Yeah. I've got little girls who are like, 1 bite. Yeah. I'm good. Yeah.
So did that Friday night, and then we had the sauna officially set up on Friday. So got our new barrel sauna, inspired by you and Chad.
Are you loving it?
Loved it. We've sat in it twice so far. A few questions on the sauna. You said yours gets up, you go up to like 180 to 200?
Yes.
That's so hot.
It's so hot.
We sat in it last night at 180.
Yep.
We were dying.
Yeah.
How long do you sit in it for at 180?
So last night, because it had been a while since we had been in it, we did 15 minutes in, and then we went in our pool for 3 minutes, and then back in for another 15.
Wow.
It's not fun. It's great. Like, I love it, but there's moments in there where I'm like,
oh my goodness.
I want to get out.
Yeah, we did 13 minutes last night.
Okay, at 180.
180.
Yeah.
And it was so hot.
It did. I had to work up to we can do 20.
Okay.
But I did have to work up. Like the first time I think I did 180, I was in for like 7 minutes. Yeah. It was tough.
It's crazy. Because on Friday night when we went in, I think I got up to like 160. Right. And that was more bearable to last 15 to 20 minutes or whatever. 180 is so hot.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, I was just like, we're creating a cool little environment. Yeah. So Brian ordered a cold plunge as well.
I was actually going to say you should get one of those little tubs or an outdoor shower that you could do like a rinse off in.
We don't have a great spot for an outdoor shower, but we're going to do the cold plunge.
Yeah.
Very excited for that. I think that's coming in the next week or so. Fun. But yeah, we have a little sauna area, and then we have our 2 little chairs that are under the cover, so we'll be able to use all year round. Yeah. We'll do the cold plunge. Very excited for that.
Love it.
And you said do you shower every time after your sauna?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Cool. I have to.
Because at one point you and Chad said that you just like go from the sauna like straight into bed, and I was like, are you like getting into bed super sweaty? And I'm like, I couldn't imagine that.
No.
And so you shower every time after.
Every time.
Cool.
And so sometimes I do have to like time my saunas based on like what's a convenient. I can't like midday sauna. I'm like, now I'm going to go shower and do all that. Like, it's really nice in the winter when it's like cold outside, you sauna and then you take a nice shower and then you're all relaxed. That's like my favorite.
I slept so well last night.
That's a huge benefit.
Immediately we did the sauna, and then we've usually go to this place called City Sweats, which is like a infrared sauna place.
Okay, yeah.
Locations around Seattle.
Yeah, yeah.
And you basically sit in the sauna. It's up to like an hour because it's infrared, so it's a lot longer. Yep. And then afterwards, there's like a little bit of they created this little like beach feeling area. So there's some like sand, and there's some like comfy chairs you sit in, and then you have a robe, and they give you like orange peel and like a couple orange slices and like a tea, like a cold tea to drink. So Brian did that last night. So we made like a cold chamomile tea and like made us a couple orange slices.
How did he recreate the sand?
We didn't do the sand, but we got robes for the sauna. So we went from the sauna to our little chairs on the deck.
It's adorable.
Had our orange peel and tea. I'm like,
gosh. This needs to be a video. People need to like experience this
great.
Vicariously.
Yeah. So that was Friday night and then last night. So we've gone twice so far. Yeah. And then Saturday we went to the gym. So we sat at the sauna at the gym. We're like, we probably shouldn't do 2 days for the sauna.
2 days.
We probably shouldn't go twice a day. Like, I don't know if that's bad or not. Okay. So Friday, that was mostly it. We Dozone sauna. Oh, we watched that was Saturday. What else did we do Friday night? I don't even, why am I forgetting this right now?
I mean, dinner and a sauna session.
I think that was the gist of it, I think. Okay, Saturday, went to the gym, went to brunch with a friend, and then came home and spent a couple hours organizing the garage, which Brian was not super stoked about, but I'm like, we got to get this done.
Yeah.
Interesting. Afterwards, I'm like, do you feel I asked Brian, do you feel like satisfied or like that was productive? Like, do you feel better after doing that?
Right.
He said, no, not at all. I do. I 100% did. Like,
interesting.
when I spend time organizing something, I just feel so productive.
Yeah.
It's interesting that we just have, didn't do anything for him.
Right.
So our garage is not fully insulated. So there's a corner of it that there was some like moisture getting in.
Okay.
And a bunch of our stuff got moldy.
Oh,
so
bummer.
we had to like throw away multiple backpacks and stuff, which sucks. And did kind of a whole purge of our garage space and took like a load to the dump. So that was Saturday.
Okay. And you felt great about it. He was like, could have used that time.
It's just been on my list for so long. Yeah. And there's also like there's a ton of just like dirt and like just little berry things that fall from the trees on our floors. Like swept that all out. I feel like every time I go in the garage the last 6 months, I'm just like, I'm thinking about the moldy stuff. And it's just like, it made me feel unsettled. Yeah. So now that it's done, I feel
Are you going to finish it? Are you going to insulate it and do anything?
We might insulate it.
Ours isn't either. And it is one of those things we've lived in our house now for a year and a half. Yeah. And we still have not tackled the garage. Chad did do one. Was it last summer? I think so. Or last fall. He did clean out one side of our garage so I could park my car in there. Okay. But basically we just kind of pushed everything to the other side. Yeah. But that is one of every year we're like, we should really clean out the garage.
It was good. Good feeling.
Yeah.
I found some stuff we forgot that we had. And we tend to try to be pretty minimalist if we can. So I do park my car in the garage and we just have one back shelf area with all of our stuff. And it's
nice.
Pretty organized.
Something to brag about. Got it.
Okay, then after that, we went to dinner at a restaurant called The Brick, which is a little local place in Renton.
Is it pizza?
It's not. They have. No, I don't think they have pizza. It's like burgers and a couple different things. So
yeah, good.
Eyes are always bigger than our stomachs, 100% of the time. Mm-hmm. Mostly Brian.
Classic.
He always wants to order more food than I do.
Listen, I feel like Brian and I could hang out.
We finished our because we got a burger, a chicken sandwich, and a wedge salad. Yeah. And I'm like, we don't need all three of those things. And we finished the wedge salad and the burger. We're like both full. Like, we don't need the chicken sandwich. But we ate it. We finished it. And I felt sick afterwards. Okay. And then we came home and watched Everything Everywhere All at Once. Have you heard of that?
I have heard of that. What is it?
Is
it Asian?
It's an Asian movie.
Yeah.
The cast,
I can say that.
The cast is mostly Asian.
Haven't watched it fully.
Okay. It won a lot of awards a couple years ago. I think 2 years ago it won a lot of awards. It's a very confusing movie. Okay. Very like the multiverse. Like there's all these different dimensions and they're hopping from one to the other. Okay. Very hard to follow. Yes. I fell asleep with 30 minutes to go. So I need to finish it. But apparently what I heard about watching that movie is you can't try to figure out what's going on. Huh. You just have to surrender to the movie and just watch it. And then at the end, apparently
just let go of control
a little bit. At the end, apparently it's supposed to all come together, but I didn't make it to the end. So it hasn't all come together for me yet. So I'll probably finish it tonight.
Speaking of shows, movies with a little Asian flair, I started watching Sunny. Have you heard of it? Do you have Apple TV?
No. Yeah, we yes.
Okay. It's with Rashida Jones, who I love. She's in Japan and her husband, there's a plane crash that her husband and her son were on. Okay. And there's basically her husband supposedly works for this refrigeration company it's a big company, but he was in the refrigeration department. And then turns out she's finding out that wasn't what he did. Oh. And he sends her a little robot that are all over Japan. Okay. And it's specifically tailored for her. So it's a little bit of this kind of futuristic drama because she's dealing with her husband and kid dying, but also now she's finding out her husband had been lying to her about what he did. And there's it's kind of interesting. It's dubbed. So Chad was struggling watching it with me because there's times where they speak English, but then there's other times you're speaking Japanese and you have to read.
So you're translating for him?
100%. I was like, don't even turn on the subtitles. I'll just tell you. So anyways, I'm curious to see how the season goes. It's new.
It's called Sunny.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's a new 2024 Apple TV produced show.
I think there's 2 or 3 episodes that have been released so far.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, we'll add it to our list. We have a few so that was our Sunday was House of the Dragon.
Right.
Part of it. So did you watch last night?
I did.
What are your thoughts?
Interesting. I'm kind of excited how it ended.
How did it end?
With the potential new Dragon Rider.
Oh, yeah. which is I think it's Corliss's bastard son.
Okay, I was trying to remember like what's his relation to everybody.
I think he's so Corliss. So the guy who is like bald and in the episode is like shaving his head.
Yeah,
you remember that?
Yeah.
So he is shaving his head because I think his hair is white and he doesn't want to be It's like he's trying to hide that he's Corliss's son.
I
basically.
didn't catch that.
And then the other guy is I think his brother, which I don't know why he wouldn't have white hair. I think he has black hair, but
with the long dreads.
Dreads, and he's the one who's going to be he's the dragon rider for
Sea smoke. Yeah.
Friends, so funny. He knows the dragon's names.
He know it all?
When he sees the dragon, he knows their name. It's insane.
I kind of love it.
So nerdy with these dragons.
Because how does he know? Is there something else he's watching or reading?
I don't know, because he's like the color of it. He's like, it had some blue on him.
Okay.
When he saw it, he's like, oh, that's sea smoke. I'm like, what?
Okay.
And he can distinguish who's Vagar and who's Caraxes and there's all these names that he knows all of them.
Okay.
It's crazy.
Apparently,
so he's also, we're watching House of the Dragon, and I told you about how we do the multiple podcasts and watch the previous episode.
Yeah.
He also apparently is reading 2 books. He's one audiobook and one physical book. They're not House of the Dragon related, but they're both dragon books.
Okay.
He's on a big dragon kick right now.
Has he seen How to Train Your Dragon? It's a great series. Okay, because I was thinking, people that read the books and then they watch the movies or the series or whatever, so much more knowledge base. So
he hasn't read these books.
Okay,
no.
All right.
Yeah.
Are there even books of these? Is this
there are? Yeah. So this show, House of the Dragon, is based off a book called The Song of Ice and Fire.
Okay.
I think.
Okay.
Could be wrong, but it's not really like a novel. It's more like a history text.
Okay.
Which is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
So it doesn't go into like. And I don't know much, but like it doesn't like it's not like a story more so as it's like here's the history of what happened within.
So like somebody came up with that.
Yeah, it's like George R. R. Martin, I think, is the creator of Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's his brain created this whole universe and all these. Yeah, it's wild.
Okay, this is totally a random tangent, but have you seen that movie Dune? And
I have not, but there's a show coming out, right?
I think there's a second movie that just came out, like a sequel.
Dune 2 just came out, but then there's a new show on HBO coming out that's like a Dune spinoff TV show.
Did you know it is based off of the Dune Peninsula area in Tacoma?
Really?
Yes. Somebody told me that the writer lived in like Browns Point or something and looked over at Dune's Peninsula from their house and was like inspired. I guess there's something that looks like worms or something on that side from like, how previously that was a like a dumping some sort of toxic waste site. And so it's like actually based from our area.
No way.
Yeah. We should fact check.
I want to fact check that
because somebody told me that. I haven't done any research. I just trust what somebody.
Because that's a huge movie. They live in Browns Point. I lived in Browns Point. What if it might have been my neighbor?
Was it you? Did you write
it? Wasn't me.
Okay.
Can you imagine?
Guys.
Okay, so we watched House of the Dragon last night. Earlier in the day I did the Seafair triathlon.
Okay, I was just gonna say I love that we're just like grazing over. Like, oh, by the way.
So
triathlon in between.
It was hard. Yeah.
Was hard?
I mean, it was fine. Sorry, I didn't mean to say.
How is your body, by the way?
Body's very sore. That's kind of more the direction I was going. Okay. So on Saturday I did like my first weightlifting workout in a while since because like last week I did yoga, I did a swim, I did like a run, but I didn't really do anything like super intense on my body. Yeah. Saturday morning I did, which was a mistake.
Right. Okay.
A huge mistake.
Yeah.
Because Sunday morning when I woke up for the triathlon, my whole upper body was so sore. Like I'm still like, I feel more sore today than I did after the STP.
Oh, what?
I think. I could be wrong, but STP was just legs, just lower body.
Right.
Today I feel full body soreness.
Everything hurts.
From swimming yesterday and the day before workout. Okay. And then just, everything is very sore. But finished it. Set a new PR.
There you go.
That wasn't even, I mean, it's always a goal, but I wasn't necessarily going into that with trying to beat the previous year.
Right.
I didn't think I would because I've only been training bike. I haven't been training swimming or running at all. Yeah. So I thought I'd be slower, which I was. I was 5 minutes slower on the swim.
Okay.
I was about the same time on the bike. The one thing that I'm like a little bit hesitant about even saying that it was a PR is I'm pretty sure the bike portion was a little bit shorter this year.
Oh.
I think they shortened the the route a little bit.
Oh, interesting.
Which I'm not sure why they would have done that. So, is it still the Seafair triathlon? I'm going to take it as a PR.
Take it as a win.
There might with that little asterisk that it might have been a shorter bike ride. But yeah, felt decent overall.
Yeah.
The run, I was definitely like struggling. Like I was like, I want to be done. But
I don't like this.
Yeah.
Did you do it with any friends?
No, again, I'm like, I keep trying to pull people into these things, and
love that you just do it though.
Just did it. Yeah.
What's coming up this next weekend?
There's Enchantments. That's the last one. So that's another one where I'm like, I've said this before. I'm overly confident about my physical abilities typically.
Give us a rundown of what's to be expected on this, because I don't even know.
It's a 1-day hike where you start at like 4 a.m. and you go until the evening.
Okay.
And it's like 20 miles, like 5,000 feet of elevation gain. It's supposed to be a very hard hike. Like other than Mount Rainier, probably will be the hardest hike I will have ever done.
Mount Rainier, as in that was the number one most challenging thing you've done? That Mount Rainier? Okay.
Yes, that one.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's probably really hard.
What's your, have we done any training for it? Just staying healthy and fit.
I'm like in good cardio shape right now for sure. And I'm also an endurance athlete.
Yes,
so I can handle these hard things.
You totally can.
So
and mentally.
Yeah.
Very strong.
And I will be with people who also haven't really been training that much.
I think that's going to be huge.
Yes.
But also just for you being with other people, encouraging you to move. Because that was with STP, you were like, that was the biggest thing, was having people around you.
Yes.
So I think that'll be huge.
This group will all be suffering together. And
what is it for? Just for.
Have you heard of the Enchantments before?
Yes, but like my friend Eleanor is doing it for a fundraiser. Are you doing it for
just for fun?
Just to do it. Yeah. Just check it off the list.
Check it off the list. Yeah, it's supposed to be one of the most beautiful hikes in Washington.
Okay.
Like it's gorgeous. I've done part of it before. It's a Kolchak Lake, which is like maybe 10% of it.
Okay.
But this, you basically start at one point and you hike all the way through to the other point. We'll drop our cars off in the morning at the start line, and then our Airbnb is like a walking distance from the finish line.
Oh, okay. Perfect.
So yeah, it'll be good.
Yeah. So you'll stay the night.
Yes, we're staying 2 nights. Okay. Friday night through Sunday night.
Okay.
So
and the hike is on Saturday.
On Saturday.
Got it.
Yeah. Super early.
Okay. Yeah. 4 a.m.
Yeah. Oh, and then one more thing. Yesterday after the triathlon, I went to Emerald Downs.
Yeah.
So went with Eric and a couple other people from the office to watch some horse racing and.
I've never been there.
This is my second time there, and it's super fun. Like it's a great time.
Cool.
Did some betting. You know, I'm not a gambling man.
How'd you do?
I started with $20. Guess what I ended with?
$20.
$36.
What?
I know. I almost doubled my money.
Should you go to Emerald Queen Casino?
I might need to. No, the thought of a slot machine does nothing for me.
Really?
Like, that's not my thing at all. I don't like the complete randomness that comes along with it. Anything where you're able to be a little bit strategic, like cards, like blackjack, any of the poker type games.
Yeah.
I can maybe get on board with those. And then horse betting.
What was your strategy there?
So they give you a pamphlet and it has all the stats for the horses. So you can see, and each horse has like odds associated with them of like their odds of winning that race, and you can see their record. And so I was mostly betting on horses that I thought that based on their statistics would perform well.
Yeah.
So, and you can guess who's going to win the race. You can guess who's going to place in the race. That's first or second. And then you can guess who's going to show, I think, in the race. That's first, second, or third. So you can place multiple bets per race. Yeah. And I bet on 2 races. The first race I won 0. I lost.
Okay.
The second race I placed 3 bets and I won 2 of the 3 bets.
Oh, nice.
So yeah.
And then do you remember your winning horse's name? Seabiscuit? Was it Seabiscuit?
They had some crazy names. That was, I think a lot of people were just betting based on the names.
That would be my go-to. Like, oh, it looks cute.
Don't remember. It was like something, maybe coyote, something. I don't know. There's some cool names. So. Cool. Apparently the jockeys on the horses, they only weigh like 115
little
pounds.
Guys.
They're tiny.
Yeah.
I'm like, I could have been that if I weighed 60 pounds.
Not with your athleticism.
That's to drop everything. But
they're like, don't lift a weight.
Yeah.
Then you can do it.
It's crazy. They're tiny.
I know. That sounds like a pretty packed weekend.
It was a packed weekend. Yeah. I'm a little tired today.
That sounds great.
But
well, just for fun, I did bring you something to try. This came in a sample kit of my daughter's Ulta skincare, and it's called Duck Plump. And what it is, it's a lip gloss. So you just put it on like a lip gloss. Have you ever put lip gloss or chapstick on?
I put chapstick on.
Okay. If you want to try it, I'd love to see what you think. Yeah, I just want to get an idea of like, this is, so for girls, right? The amount of
extreme sensation is the label here.
You don't have to read the fine print. For girls, like fuller lips, cheek fillers, all these things that we are like kind of having to do nowadays to like stay up with fashion. Right. I just feel like it's so easy for guys. Like you guys don't, first of all, you don't have to put anything on your face.
It's like this kind of thing.
It's like a lip gloss.
Okay.
Don't be shy. Just like,
let me do it right now.
I would love for you to just tell me what you think. And I would love to see if it
is this gonna like cause me pain?
No, you need to like get it on.
What is this gonna do to me?
It's gonna give you duck lips.
I don't know if I want duck lips.
I think you do. It's gonna be great. Okay.
Both top and bottom lips?
Yeah, but you're gonna have to reapply because you're like barely got it on there.
Is it gonna hurt me?
It's just an extreme sensation. You read the packaging. Okay, wait, put a little bit more on because it looks like you have a little. It's like, won't do it. I just wanted you to understand what like girls are. Are you sensing anything? Okay.
Okay, that's good.
I feel like you didn't put much on the
I did a lot.
Applicator. Have you ever done any like you did theater? You did makeup and stuff for theater in the past?
I did, yeah. Never lip plumper though. Is this supposed to have like immediate impact on my lips?
Are you feeling anything?
Is it supposed to tingle?
A little bit. I don't think you put enough on.
I think it's plenty.
Okay.
Have you put this on?
Mm-hmm.
And
it was a little stinging.
Okay.
But
I feel something. Okay. It's definitely tingling.
Something's happening.
Yeah.
No, it was funny. I was just like putting some on this morning. We got these packets, so it's like little sample sizes at Ulta. It's like a bunch of different little beauty products. Yeah. And so the little girls were like, "Oh, duck lips! I want to try it." And they were like freaking out. They were like, "Oh my gosh, my lips!"
How long did it take for the?
Well, I think they applied like lip gloss amount, and they were.
I was more conservative with it.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. I saw you like brush the brush off the edge.
I feel something.
Like, okay.
I want the medium lip pump.
I was putting some on this morning and I was like, I'm just going to bring this to see if Austin was willing to try it. But yeah, that's just one of our takeaways from
today.
Portland trip.
Okay.
Some duck clump stuff.
I might be asking you for that.
Austin,
look at your lips.
You look great today. What's going on? You can say
it's definitely stinging a little bit. Feel something going on.
Yeah, looks good.
Thank you.
Looks like a little shine to it. A little shine.
Okay, hold on. Last comment. You're watching House of the Dragon.
Right, yeah.
Jace, you know who that is? It's Rhaenyra's son. He's the prince.
Yeah.
Good-looking guy.
Yeah. Darker hair.
He does. One. Have you noticed his like model face?
No.
Like every time it's a still on his face.
Yeah.
He's like doing like a model pose every time. He's doing like a lip plumping. You have to look out
now
for
I will. Now
they call him like Jace the Face.
That's hysterical.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I haven't. But overall in the episode, we only really talked about how much Brian loves Dragon.
Right.
Did you like last?
My thing I don't like right now is how the whole Damon, all the dream hallucination stuff that's happening. It's been in almost every single episode. Like I bet 25% of the show this whole season has focused on that, and I just hate it. Like I'm just so over the dreams and hallucinations. I don't get it. I don't like it. I don't like things that are dreams. Like I don't care. Like I want to know what's really happening in real life.
It's funny you say that because there was one part I actually like went back and was like, wait, did I miss something? Because it was like the what is her name? Millicent? No. Alicent and her daughter-in-law were running through the town. They get attacked.
Yeah.
Well, then the next scene, is it her daughter? Mm-hmm. Okay. I thought that was the wife of her son.
It was also the wife of her son. Yeah, brother and sister are married.
Okay.
Alicent and I can't remember
Alicent. Her name. I was going to call her Maleficent.
I thought they were going to die in that scene.
Me too. And the next scene, it goes to they're crying over and there's a girl laying with blonde hair. And I thought it was her. I thought it was the daughter.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, wait, did she get killed in that mob? And I totally missed it. No, it was a dream.
Yeah. I'm tired of the dream sequences.
Was that the mom? Was that his?
No, it was the king's first wife who died in childbirth in the very first episode of the show.
Okay, that was what I was thinking I missed, but man.
Yeah, I just want no more dream sequences. Yeah. I don't like it. I don't.
Yeah.
Overall, I really like the show. I think they're doing a great job on it. I just like every once in a while a dream scene where it's like whatever, but like every single episode has included this, and I'm sorry, I'll stop complaining.
No,
that's my main qualm with the show.
Mine is keeping track of everybody, because and still the name pieces, but like there's like all the different people that are representing other people, you know, in like new lands. Like they're showing up and they're like, we're here to take over.
Oh yeah.
Which side are you on, and who are you representing?
The Lannisters showed up at the beginning of yesterday's episode at like something tooth, which I didn't even know what that was.
I know. So, and then they're doing things where they're like in the town and they're showing like some families struggling, and I'm like, okay, what's your connection? Yeah. So
yeah.
That part.
I think that part's just to show that the small folk are not getting fed, and it's identifying some like characters you can follow within the town people.
Okay, because I feel like there's the one family that they're showing, and the daughter's sick, and the husband. I feel like he's going to come into something. He's going to.
He punched somebody for some lettuce last night. Yeah.
Anyways, okay.
How's
the duck plump?
It's coming. It's plumping.
It's not bad though. You're not complaining.
I'm feeling it though. It feels like it's stinging a little bit.
Maybe have a more.
I'm feeling it. I'm feeling something.
Okay.
I'm a tough man.
Right.
I can put up with it.
You're like, you know what I just did this last week? You know what I'm about to do? Enchantments? This is nothing.
All right. Thanks, Jamie. An hour on the dot.
Nice.
Love it.